Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to build a sample application end to end with help of line graph. And we will be maintaining a state of that particular agent so that it will be able to memorize the context uh, and all that. So in this simple application, what it will have this left side pan where we should be able to select which LLMs provider we are going to use. For now, it will be Grok. And under Grok, which model we are going to select. And for those models, we will be leveraging some API key, uh, which we have already procured. Or if you don't have, you should be able to procure from here. And then you should be able to select a basic. So, for example, there are multiple use cases. So, the one use case is basic chatbot. We are going to have this use case, and for that, you should be typing a few messages and just clicking on. You should be able to get a response. So, we will learn how we will be building end-to-end UI and backends and all LLMs and the graphs and agents and its states all end to end. So this is our requirement. We will jump to code. So let's go over the code structure. So I have this Agentic AI project, right? And into it I have a source folder. And in this one, I will be having all the source code, and that's how we normally maintain in any projects. And then this is normal things. We have environment in which we will be installing all the prerequisites to run this application, and that's how uh, we create environment. And this is the requirement.txt, which are the packages which is required for my application. So how to create environment? It's a pretty simple. In Visual Studio, we get uh, Dev env, and also we get from Python itself. There is another package which will support to create a environment mv. Otherwise, if you are using Conda, so from Conda itself, we should be able to create environment. So I have created this environment with that. And let's go over what are the packages required for our application. We need a LangChain. LangChain is required to, it's a, uh very good framework to let us build a Gen AI application. Then LangGraph, which will be requiring for building a structured communication between the uh, different models, and also to build a graph structure. LangChain community version is required, LangChain core and LangChain Grok, because we are going to use Grok to interact uh, through LLMs, and LangChain OpenAI. And this is a FAS. This is for our vector DB, and Streamlit, where we will be having our front end application. So this is our requirement. We will now dive into source. So in source, uh, we are having one land graph, Agentic AI. Um, so this is the one project. If there are sub projects, we should be having multiple projects within our source. So Lanchan Agentic AI folders, uh, we have our all application, all components. So for our application to run it at high level, what we need? First of all, we know that okay, we need some UI through which a user will be interacting, and then we need a high level. We need LLMs, obviously. Whatever LLMs we need, we have to have that. Then uh, we are going to build a graph, right? Line graph. So we need a graph related code, and then we will have to build the graph, we need a nodes. So we will be having node related code. And if there are communication happening, so we would like to maintain a state. So we will have a state folder, state related codes. So we have segregated as a component. And then these line graph will use tools, right, to communicate and use for their interconnection. So it will be uh, a tools code here. And then if we are leveraging vector score, then we will be having vector score here. So this is high level component wise structure. If we will deep dive in more detail, so this is so how we use in a best practice way, right? So actually all the component would be having as a package. To be have as a package, what we need to have um, uh, init .py, right? So it will let us we have whole components as a package. So for example, we will go to the LLMs. So in LLMs, we have init dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py. And in this LLMs, I'm going to use Grok LLM. So I will be having Grok LLM related code. So for Grok LLM related code, I would like to modelize. So that's where I had created a Grok class, and this is a standard constructor, right? And what we are going to do, we are going to have user controls inputs, and whatever inputs will be, that inputs will get stored here. Then um, this is get LLMs. So get LLM model. So this function will provide, instantiate, and give the LLMs, right? So this is its responsibility. So what it's doing, it's uh, based on the user's selection, uh, whatever user has selected. For example, here user has selected Grok, and then from the Grok, which uh, model LLM model it would like to utilize, it will get selected here. So uh, first of all, it has to get the key, right? So here, this is the key uh, where user will provide, because we have externalized that so that it will be easy to test. Um, so user can provide API key for Grok, and that will get stored here. And then uh, this is the another input, selected Grok model. So whatever user has selected, it will get stored here. And then um, we are checking that if it is Grok API key, and it's whatever been maintained earlier, or if it is in environment also it is not set, it will throw the error, right? Otherwise, if it is all good, I'm going to create a chat grok instance, uh, and passing this API key and model name, and accordingly it will create one LLM instance, and it will return. So this is the get LLM model methods within the grok LLM. Now we need so we need to build a graph, right? So to build a graph, we know that we need a nodes first. So we will go, and again for nodes also we would like to make it as a package. So we have underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py created, and nodes, this is a basic chatbot node. So this is the one node. Uh, we and based on the use cases, we will have a different node. So in this one node, a basic chatbot node, what we are doing, we are creating a basic chatbot node, and this is a constructor. And while instantiating, we will whatever model we will pass, we will reference that model. And we for this one, we are having a process method. So what we are going to do, we are uh, getting the state, right? So all communication will happen through state, and state will have masses. What masses means what instruction LLM has to do. So all user instruction will be in states masses. So while UI making a call uh, to this chatbot node and saying that, hey, this is my question, go and respond, that input will get wrapped into this state, and just based on the state management, uh, that state will get passed and will be available here. And then it will process the response and uh, return it back, right? So all messages will get returned after invoking um, those LLMs. So this is one of the nodes. Now we have a node, and for state, let's have a look. Again, state also we would like to make it as package. So we have underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py, and we have a state.py. So state.py, we are having a state class, and we have messages annotated, and it will have a list of messages, and whatever messages key value parameter will get added here, right? So this is the state component or module, we will say. And now we will construct so in tools, right? So in tools, we are in this use case, we are not going to make a call to external tools, so we haven't developed it. But for a structure per se, you can follow this. So you should be having a tools, and for example, if you have built any racks scenarios, then you should be able to store your vector store here, and it's related all code and responsibilities will be underneath this sub components. Let's look into graph. So uh, in graph, what we are going to do, we are going to build a basic graph, right? So so chatbot graph, we are having chatbot use case, so we are going to build a chatbot graph. So while building in constructor, you can see that we are uh, instantiating the models, and also we are passing the graph builders. So we are taking all the graph, so we are building a stateful graph, right? So it is required a state. So state graph, we are giving all the state objects into it, and it will be uh, having that. And with that state graph, we are able to instantiate it state graph object. After instantiation of graph builder, what we're gonna do, we are going to expose few methods. So one is basic chatbot build graph. So here we are building a graph. So what we are saying that, hey, go and utilize this self.basic chatbot node. So basic chatbot node and self.llm. So we have given uh, instantiated one basic node, and we have given these two chatbot nodes. Now, uh, graph builder, a stateful graph, we have built it. Now we are adding node. So whatever this node we have created, we are adding that node here. And then this graph need to have a start and end. So after we are adding a edge, saying that start, and then go to this chatbot. Just we create a node, and from that chatbot node to go to end. It's a pretty basic graph we have built it here. So this is the graph construction. After graph construction, we have a setup graph. So this is a setup graph. We are saying that if use case is basic chatbot, go and instant call this basic chatbot graph and return this graph builder. So setup graph will be having this responsibility to instantiate the graph and return its and compile it and return it, right? So that now graph will be ready and just it has to get call it out invoked externally, right? So we have LLM, we have built the node, we built the graph, and we have a state, right? So at the backend perspective, we are good now. Let's deep dive into UI area. So in UI, we have built the front end in Streamlit. So that's where we are having a Streamlit component. And so in the left side, we are having lot of components, right? Lot of controls like select LLM, select model, API key, and select use cases. So here, uh, all these values are getting populated. So how we can make it available means we can have a configuration, right? So for maintaining a configurations, how we do? We need a um, we need a ini file, right? So means this is the basic configuration management system, and you would be aware of. So to maintain config, this is the default section, and the default we are having this was key value pair. So page title we have in this configuration, LLM options we are having Grok, use case options we are having basic chatbot, and LLM model we are having here, right? So all these things are all set in this configuration. To use this configuration, what we need to do, we need to have uh, uh, UI config file.py, right? And we should be having a config parser, which will uh, read it out and it will enable us to operate on this config. So we have config class, and in this config, in the constructor, we are giving that path of this configuration file, and this config parser is having that instance, and it's read all those configuration, and it has included into it. Now, whenever we have exposed this method, so whenever I would like to get the LLM options, how many options are. So what it does, it's basically goes to the config and it's saying that under default section, give me the LLM options, whatever it there, and it's splitting based on the comma. So if there are comma separated multiple values into this, so it will go and split out. If it is not, then only one item will get returned. Similarly, we have get use case options. Means what are the use case we are having? We are having chatbot use case right now, right? So it will read use case option from INI use case option, uh, use case option, basic chatbot we have. It will read and it will return to our program. Similarly, we have get grok model options. So what are the models we are having in here? So we have grok model options, Mistral, Llama 3, Llama 3 70 billion and 8 billion, and Gemma 7 billion. So these are the three LLM options we are having here, and that will get returned. Then we are having page title function, which will read page title and it will return to us. So now to read a configuration, we have built this UI config, which will be responsible for reading this config whenever required. Now, so this is configuration, whatever UI needs, we have built it. Now let's get into Streamlit UI, which UI we would require. So we need to load UI, right? And this is the display result. So after querying, this piece of code will be responsible to display the query results. And this is first time whenever it's renders, application starts, it has to load some of the UI. So this would be the entry point of whenever our application goes and runs. So let's try to understand what it's required here. So for very first level, we need a Streamlit, right? So we import a Streamlit as ST, import OS to read, interact with environment variables and all that, and date time. Um, so here we are going to use LangChain core messages. So AI messages and human messages. This is the for prompting we required. And this here in this application, we are going to read config. So that's where we need to reference config component. And this is how we should be referencing. So we are saying SRC means this source. Then LangGraph Agentic AI, LangGraph Agentic AI. Within that, go to UI, come to UI folder, and then UI configs. And this is how within this UI config, we have config class. So this is how we are referencing that config class. And now with the help of this, we should be able to call a read configuration within our UI. So in this constructor, we have already instantiated config, and this is the user controls. We are having a uh, blank here. Uh, and then this is the okay, so this is the initialize sessions means this method will be responsible very first time to instantiate all these variables, key value pairs, right? So these are the few which will be required. So this will uh, get utilized. Now, load Streamlit UI. So this is the function which methods or function which will be responsible to render our UI. So here you can see we are going to set a Streamlit set page config, page title, and we are giving the page title. So we are self.config. We are reading config object, and through config object we are saying that give the page title, and it will give us the page title, and layout is wide. So with this will go and set the uh, uh, page config, right? And after that, in page config object, we are giving this title. Yeah, this is the header, right? Page header, which get and displayed, and then we are saying session stem time frame is nothing but it's blank. Session state is face button click. So first time it is all false, and is SDL. These are the all false. Set it up here. Now we have to render a sidebar, right? So if in this UI, if you go, this is nothing but a sidebar, right? So we need to render this component here. So for that, get the option from the config. So we are getting all this of LLM options. So we fetching through help of config all the LLM options in this variable. Similarly, we are all the use cases we are fetching and storing in this variable. Now LLM selections. So all uh, LLM selections, so user controls LLM, we are having this one variable user controls. Within that, we are having LLM selected LLMs, and in that ST selected box select LLM and LLM option. So in this selection options, we are giving select LLM, and all LLM options we are making it available there. right? And whatever being selected, that will go in this uh, user controls with this variable name, and it will get stored. Now we are saying that if it is grok, so by default we are having only one option, grok, right? So if it is the grok, it has to go and get the grok config options from the config, and it will get all model options, self user controls. So from self, we are again all user controls. Select grok model dot whatever model has been selected. We are storing it in a user control. Similarly, in the user controls, we are fetching API key. So if it is in, so what we are doing, we are maintaining that input text API key. It's a type of password, and storing into session state as well. And at the same time, we are storing in user control. So all the user controls values we have already uh, took it and maintained all those in a user's control. Now validate API keys. So here we are getting this is the grok API key. If not, then we are showing this warning. If there is no value, this warning has to go and show that, hey, please enter grok API key to proceed. If you don't have, then refer to this link and go and create it one. Right now, use case selection. So self dot user controls. You have to uh, here use case options need to be selected, and it will go and store here. Now state not in uh, states. So if this state object is not in session state, what we are doing, we are initializing the very first time. Obviously this state will not be there, so we are initializing the session state object, and we are storing into session state um, session state uh, at this application level. And now all this user controls getting returned. So this uh, this one will accelerate and get set all those values and return it. So I think I explained in a very detailed way. You should be getting clear how Streamlit, this particular load UI application has been built on, right? So this is the display results, right? So this display result streams, and it will get call, and so display result on UI. If it is getting call, it has to uh, so here this is a again construction use case graph, and user masses will get passed in this constructor, and we are setting it up. And then if we are calling display results on that, when users ask the question and hit enter, then what it has to do, it has to get the use case again, the and this is the graph, right? So self dot graph, we are getting that graph object now, and we are getting the user masses. And use case, if it is basic chatbot, then what we are doing, we are saying that graph dot stream. So here we are using the stream mechanism, stream way to interacting with the LLM. So we are saying this is the masses, and it is user masses, and whatever user has put it over there. And with this, what it will do, it will stream it out, and whatever values as a response we will be getting, we will be printing these values, right? And with this chat masses, where user has clicked on, we will be writing. So this user message will get wrote, right? And the chat message dot assistant will write this message content finally, right? So these two things will be doing there. Now we have constructed the Streamlit app. So from where invocation will happen. So load UI and display result has been created now. So, and these are the configurations. Now we have uh, we have uh, main dot py file. So for my this lang graph agentic AI component or sub module or uh, label, to get it to utilize fully, I have one main.py, and through this I should be able to invoke. So how it is, let's try to understand. We are having Streamlit here, JSON, and again we are having all the required components referred here. So load UI uh, and Grok LLMs, uh, and we have graph builder referred here, display results. So load UI and display result, all you can see here, it's been different, and here it has been uh, hooked up. Now this is a load line graph agentic AI app. So in this is the main function to start, and uh, and this is the doc notes, right? Um, and here we are calling it out, instantiating load UI, uh, right? Load stream lit UI, and this whole object will be here. Then we are calling uh, load stream lit UI. So this guy will construct everything, and we will get all the inputs, right? If user input, if user haven't input anything, then this error message has to show uh, fail to load user input from the UI if there is no user input, right? If you are getting some error or something, you're not able to get anything, you have to throw the error. Then uh, text input for user message. So in session state, we are checking that if fetch button is clicked, then what it will do, it will session state time frame, and this user from this time frames user message we are getting in, right? Otherwise we are saying that enter the message, right? And then if user message persists, then what it does, it goes and Grok LLMs says that okay, this is user controls input. These are the user controls inputs, right? And Grok LLMs instantiate and give the Grok LLM config. Now we are getting get the LLM model. So automatically whatever options been selected accordingly, it will give the LLM model, right? And if it is not, then it's error. And if we got LLM models here, and we got the user message, so user input selected use case is there, use case, and use case is not, these are the validation, so use case is again not there, then it has to give. And then graph builder, we are giving a LLM to this graph builder, and then we are getting graph builder object. Now graph builder object, we are saying that go and set the graph now and give me the graph object. So it's given the graph objects, and then we we have display result. stream, right? So we would like to display now. So we have given a use case, we have given the graph, we have given the user message, and we are saying that based on this, you get your constructor invoked, and after that, display result on UI. And now you go and display the UI. So display result UI, this uh, module within this Streamlit, this one will get called. So here you can see we are having a display result on UI, right? So from this main.py, this is getting called, and all rest are exception handling. So this main function is responsible for this whole line graph agentic AI project invocation. Now this is the app.py, which is at high level, my source level. And here it might be I will call LangGraph Agentic AI, or I will call LangGraph RAG AI something, right? So there could be multiple uh, 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 sub tools or sub sites. So accordingly, I can call it out. So this is the app.py. Just here we are hooking it up. We are saying that okay, SRC LangGraph agentic AI main, and we are saying that okay, I need a LangGraph agentic AI app, and just we are invoking whatever we have in that main of this LangGraph agentic AI, and from here all related sub components and modules will get invoked, right? So I think we dealt inside this whole code. Let me show you how it is. So I have run it, but again, I will stop how to run. Um, so I think you guys would be aware of how to set up environment and all that. So in environment, first of all, I created environment. So this is my code to create environment. I have created environment Python minus m venv virtual environment, my environment. And after this, after create that environment got created, I get inside that environment. So I created my environment, and I need to activate that environment. So this is the way to activate the environment. You have to reach to that environment, and then it's a script, and under script you will be having activate bash file, which will activate your environment. And then after activating environment, what you need to do, you have to install the all requirements, whatever package is required for your application to run. So I have installed pip install minus r recursively, and it will uh, install all requirement or txt, right? And then after that, I have just went ahead and ran Streamlit run app.py. So this is the way to run any Streamlit app. So wherever you are having your base function, main function to invoke, just you will run a Streamlit run app.py. Uh, app in place of app.py, any name you can choose that will trigger the Streamlit app. So let me click it out. Uh, and now you can see this has been uh, instantiated, right? And we got this all components uh, been rendered. Now, how to test it out? To test it, we need a one key. So let me go ahead and grok key, right? API key. So let me go and bring it one. I don't think it should be right. It should be hidden. Okay. So I have given this API key, and what it did, I'm saying that okay, I need a grok framework, and this will so Grok way of LLM invocation, and I will be selecting this Mistral uh, uh, 7 billion parameter, and this is my API key, which you will be using to interact with that LLM, which Grok has hosted. And my use case is basic chatbot. If there are other use cases, I should be able to list and I should be able to build a respective component. Then I will ask that, okay, uh, what is agentic AI? Let's see. Connection is and everything is okay. It should go and give me the result. You can see it's running. And yeah, what is agentic AI? And here you are able to see the LLM's response has came. All right. So this is all in this session. Um, Thanks for watching, and feel free to comment if you have any concern.